In a medical situation, never tell a doctor, even if it's a black doctor, that they're wrong, because they get upset and they're liable to hurt you. Just tell them that, you practice some religion that meets every Thursday in a phone booth and eat watermelon. And that's why I won't take the vaccination shots. And they will not bother you. Believe me, trust me, I won't bother you. Well, I know they won't. But you come to and say, well, all these facts about this is pus and this is chemicals going in my system, changing my DNA, making my children more clone, making my children more docile. I don't want this in my... They're going to get upset. Don't do that. Oh, sometimes I get running my mouth and all. My wife's sitting there, and we have a health newsletter, African Health newsletter. It has a lot of good information in it. If you want it, there's some applications here. And you can see Asila and get some more applications. Asila, why don't you stand up so people know you? See, she has it right there. She does the newsletter. She's the editor. She says I stay in my room and just do things. I don't know what it is. In any case, I don't think I have to overdo that one for you. I think you understand how the energy moves. I want to show you how it's spinning, how we divide that up into layers. How the spin is divided up into layers at a central focal point here with the I am. And then you go into imagination, knowing, conceptual, possessive, intellectual, social, and sensory. How the energy is just spinning around and around, creating these force fields. Now, if you put a pin in a vacuum, or partial vacuum, and you take it out and let it fall to the ground, it's going to jump. Each time it goes through one of those areas, it's just going to make a slight little quiver. The amazing thing about this is it's so simple, and yet it's so... Some people just don't get it because they think it's so simple. It is simple, quite. Even if I show you the circuits, what you call the electrical symbols that come from this whole study of the Ankh. Now you see how the circuitry is coming from this Ankh. It's a functional thing. Omega symbol comes from this Ankh. Alpha signal comes from it. It's a functional thing. Ankhs are not just some kind of decoration. Now, I want to digress a little bit here, because people always ask me these questions like I'm taking away everything that they want to eat and all. And I'm not trying to do that. So I'm just going to come off the psychic level here and just go right on the ground here with some basic things. There's some basic kind of things. Protein, because people say, what am I going to eat? So I'm more psychic, so am I more spiritual. What am I going to eat? You done took away everything, like doo-doo burgers and everything. Beans and rice. We're talking that protein combination there. Beans and rice is one. Corn and green beans is another. Corn and lima beans. Millet and green beans. Garbanzo beans or chickpeas, as some people call it. Seeds. Tofu and rice. That's brown rice or basmati rice. Whole grain pasta, sesame seeds and corn, bulgur, and dried beans. Those are protein combinations. For those who figured out... Hold it? Okay. Now, your body runs on amino acids. It doesn't really run on this protein now. Your body uses something called amino acids. The amino acids are put together by an organ called your liver. It makes the young amino acids, and then whatever's needed is made right at the site that is needed. First, the liver puts together a young amino acid, ships it to your muscle, and at the site of the muscle, it puts it together in the way it needs it. So the liver becomes very crucial in helping you to put together your amino acids. And the liver is very much damaged by processed oils, Tylenol, aspirin, the gel that gets absorbed into your body from latex and polyurethane condoms, which also causes cancer. Of course, the powder causes cysts and tumors. Then the liver gets attacked by air pollution, radiation pollution, something that I've never been able to figure out yet in my life is scented toilet paper. I have problems with that today because I know your ass can't smell it, and I just don't understand today why people still use it. We've been so hoodwinked. I mean, really. That takes me out. All of these chemicals get into our bodies, and it causes our liver to be compromised. So it loses its ability to structure the energy we need in the right fashion. You have it? Yes. Okay, thank you. Now I'm going to show you the proteins and ones you can use in place of. In place of the chicken fetus, like some people like to kill this unborn baby chicken and fry their brains and everything, and then scramble it up, and then eat this chicken fetus. Well, we're all at some state of dysfunctionality, I suppose. So we have the navy and black beans, which gives you a comparable protein. Fish, we can use millet and lentils. Comparable protein, no problem. Beef, wheat, and barley. Cheese, they have soybean cheese now and rice cheese. There's no reason to even go there. But you can use soybeans and corn, and of course this pig with feathers that you call chicken. The chicken eat anything. Chicken eat another dead chicken. I'm telling you, chicken eat anything. Chicken nothing but a pig with feathers. Garbanzo beans and raw peanuts. You don't want cooked peanuts. Those are some of the substitutes that you can use for the proteins. It's a thing that everyone knows that cows don't eat steak in order to have muscle mass. They don't eat meat. Cows do not eat meat. So this thing about you have to have meat, I don't understand. Cows don't drink milk. Cows don't eat yogurt or ice cream. But if you own yourself a herd of cattle, you probably tell people to drink 3 glasses every day too. You remember all those Western movies with the cowboys and Indians? They would drive a herd to McDonald's. Remember that. So you have that one, right? Because we want to keep it on the ground somewhat here. And we apply those same principles that I mentioned before. We aim all of that to ma'at. Ma'at. You use this in your diet, in the way you approach food. Because if you have a problem with food, it's probably addiction now. Excuse me. Because nowadays people are addicted to food. It's not that you eat because you're hungry, you eat because you're addicted. Addicted to the chemicals in the food, sex hormones in the food, the color of the food, the sexual shape of the food, and the radiation of the food. Because foods are radiated to make them more addicting. They call it a barcode. Because people are addicted to radiation. You've been around them, television on, and they sleep, and you turn the TV off, they wake up. Because the only way they can sleep is when they're nuking themselves. They're addicted to the radiation. If you buy one of the companies have similar radiation barcodes on all their merchandise, so if you're hooked on Procter & Gamble's toilet paper, you're probably eating their candy bar too. You hooked on their whole line. So they have a radiation addiction and the chemical addiction, which you call sugar and food additives. And then you have the color addiction. They usually use a lot of male colors on candy bars. Yellow and orange and red. And of course, they always name candy bars after men. And nobody seems to understand that the candy bar shaped like a penis has nuts on it. And when you open it up, it ejaculates. I mean, what's the problem here? Everyone knows the sexual symbolism. They call candy bars after men. Babe Ruth, the Musketeers. That's 3 men you're sucking on now when you get it. No, you understand the sexual symbolism. Now, I see brothers buying a hot dog, getting all excited when they put it between 2 buns. Like I said, I was going to go there. So what we have to do is get a hold of the addiction. What we use for the addiction is phenylalanine, which is an amino acid. It's called phenylalanine. It's used for addiction and craving. We use